It's been the home of the Chiefs since 1972. GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City.
Every day cannot stay the same. Yeah. But one thing that's never gonna change. Forever, ever, forever, ever, forever. I forever reign. Forever, ever, forever, ever, forever, forever. The people they make go and dollars they make grow. And everything's for show, but I will remain cold and eager. The queen don't talk to the meager, a leader. Who you know in the Zephyr. Been through the trenches, gutter fields and stenches. Gone ball, they filling up the benches. Half-court shooters.
Well, it is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you to GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And this opening dynamic kickoff. Going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
The play fake. Now Young. And the Chiefs are going to get him. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Down.
On play action, Young. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. Boy, how about this to start a ball game? That's twice in a row now, Charles, that they get to it.
And how often do we talk about offenses that operate off of a script to begin games? Feels like this defense had their script together on this one. And their script said put the quarterback down and do it fast.
A throw left side, reeled in by the rookie wideout. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready up.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive.
Ready. Blaster, stick. Blue striker. Right, white. Check, huh?
They'll try and throw for it here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Here we go. Here we go. Set.
Young. That one complete till again. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. Now Young going to move him around.
Smash, red. Drive through. Ready, ready.
They'll look to throw again. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39.
Claude red. Black Ultra. Ready?
It'll be Young again. He stiff arms him.
He gets this one to Hubbard, complete.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Black shot.
Now they'll change things around before the snap. That's over the middle to his tight end, Sanders.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Triple 38. Ready?
Hubbard looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. We're scoreless after 1. Panther football to start quarter number 2. As they come up now, 2nd and goal.
Hut. Hut, hut.
Young. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Adam Thielen from a yard out.
And the Panthers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off.
McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Black. Done.
Shotgun now for Wentz.
Catch is made by Marquise Brown.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Sunday. There we go. Back man.
Now Wentz.
They'll check this one down to Pacheco.
Oh, look at the juke. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Here we go. What's this on?
Throwing is Wentz.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And the Panthers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory.
Now a 2nd and 6.
52 Blackford. Set.
Right back to Hubbard.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Good. 52.
Young to throw it.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Here's a 2nd and 8.
Go.
From midfield, here's Wentz.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick.
And the Panthers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception.
Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 41. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
On the move past the 40.
And finally taken down at the 34. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's going to leak out of the backfield to his right, then angle his way up the field. And a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
From the gun, it's Wentz.
And that one into the hands of Brown downfield.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go.
Wentz going to throw. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, as the first half is winding down.
And the Chiefs have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think
Young is intercepted for the third time this game.
And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Go.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living.
And got his man, complete. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be first and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play, and that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2.
Empty. There we go. Back. Sunday. What's this on?
A final shot before half for Wentz.
On Wentz is intercepted yet again.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Let's go now.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. Ooh, with a juke. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football.
And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Now Wentz.
They'll set up the screen to Pacheco.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Go. Great.
Wentz now to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Rod. So the completion good for just 3. And it's 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Here we go. Lefty. Done.
Again, it's Wentz.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Did he get the feet down? Yes! Touchdown! 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz.
And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2.
Go.
Wentz going to look to throw. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion no good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he returns this to the 22. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the 2nd half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Looking to throw, Young.
A short throw hauled in by Trimble.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the...
Ready, set.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Here we go, set.
Here's Young. Escaping the pressure right. That is caught. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Green jack. Ready.
To throw, Young.
There's a short throw caught by Sanders. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
97. Ready?
Young now from the 50. Flushed out right.
Got a man. That's Leggett.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 22-yard line.
Blast it. 6. Here we go.
Now Young. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
43 rail. Ready.
They'll run here with Hubbard.
Showed off the footwork, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Ready.
Here
go.
now, 2nd and goal.
Down.
Young to throw.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Adam Thielen with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Panthers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet, and we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Eluding the pressure right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
And now they'll shift things around.
Wentz to throw.
That ball caught. It's Rice. And he will have the first down. And that is not officially going to end it, but they'll be able to take the clock way down from here.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Go, go.
Pacheco gets it up the gut.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Solid.
Now Wentz.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go, Pac-Man.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gong. Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Here we go.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Here we go. Done.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Go.
Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because, remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.
bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the in your mouth. Come on. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Yeah. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, lost life without me. Both feds in the state wanna see by me. The whole city got pissed, heard he got 3. That other rapper got it, but shouted he not out. Who set the city on fire soon as he got free? The king back now, don't even know how to act now. Hit the club, get before I sat down. Still ballin', money stacked tall in the shack now. Still push a button and let the roof on the lag down. I'm on the road doing shows, put my Mac down. Mississippi to Philly, Albuquerque to Chat Town. I got the crowd yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All my hot girls yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All the dope boys yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Front the back gate yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. To get with other southern rapper hooded than this. I got rich and I'm still in a hooligan clique. You be rapping by, I'm moving the bricks. You talk about, now we're doing it quick. You in the face, you gon' be suing me quick. If I catch another case, I know it truly be missed. So I'ma keep a cool head, stay out of the news headlines, and show these other rappers it's bedtime. It's clear to see that I'm ahead of my time. I caught the chromed out, hard top career with a shine. I got some time, name, I get better with time. Who got a flow and a live show better than mine? I got a packed house yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All my hot girls yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All the dope boys yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Front the back gate yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. You wanna beef with the king? What is you gon' do? When you show up on the scene with a 2 Drew on you and your friend and play a little 2 on 2. If you do half of what I do, you'll be hitting the deck. I gotta get some respect. I'ma make it hard for another sucker to flex. Show 'em this ain't the squad for a sucker to test. Pimp, but too large and we way too fresh. Work well with. And quick to check a lane like a game of chess. You wanna be better, bring your best. Cause we be standing in your front yard yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All my hot girls yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
I don't know why my mic was muted. The fuck?
Hey, wake up, shot calling. Pay what I bought it.
Hello.
Psychotic. I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even
Hello.
wildin'.
Okay.
Get it, but I got it.
So now it works.
So
Oh.
iconic. Yeah, straight out the Atlantic. Phone for hours. I'm straight out
Okay.
the business. They calling up Deanna.
Now.
Straight out the business. We take out the Sims and then take out
So
period. Break out the minutes.
on the broadcast setting, it says my mic was muted, and then when I put mute mic, it like unmuted. Mic was weird. Then when I put mute mic, it like unmuted. Mic was weird. Okay. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Got your stacks up, but you ain't got no rings. Yeah. Got my stacks up. I'm living out my dreams. Yeah. Stretch this condo, I can fit a limousine. Yeah. Ain't that ironic? I'm so iconic. confetti, I'm running through it. They play their whole lane, I'm running through it. And if they run at me, let my youngins do it. I just married, I'm honeymooning. I got hot on my own and ain't nothing coolin'. I don't punch in no clock, I sun and moon and I'm shot, bullet, proven, let it go. Wake up, shot calling, pay what I bought it. New crib, psychotic, I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands, she ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Got the stacks up, but you ain't got no
Okay.
rings. Got my stacks up.
So I hate these players that think they're all that. Like, you know, they'll either talk shit as soon as the game starts, and then they'll have one good drive, or as soon as they have one good play, they'll start talking every single time they have a good play. Who knows what they say? But because I mute everybody because they're just obnoxious. Like, and I always thought it was just the younger generation, but it's everybody. Like, I don't care if they're like 60 plus years old, my age, like 35, or if they're a kid, like, it don't matter. And the times that I found out, like, that they were kids, I apologized to them and said, hey, sorry, whatever. If I find out, like I don't trash talk. I tell it like it is. Like, I'm against players using, you know, certain tactics. And I really like, I don't trash talk people. You know, I tell it like it is. I tell players they copy, they're the same, they're all the same. 99.9% are all the same. And I can say that because we're not talking about like 100 people here, okay? If I say, you know, I'm that 0.1% or 1% of players who don't do what they do, right? That would mean that I'm one of 100. But that's not the case. There's there's hundreds of thousands of players playing online. And I don't care what online game it is, it don't matter. Players resort to, cheap garbage. It don't matter what video game it is, whether they need like to use a stack team that has an elite defense, elite mobile quarterback, elite running game, and they need to spam certain shit, or what they call it meta, meta stuff that's meta, like overpowered stuff, you know, like, and these players are literally lazy, scouring the internet to find out like the best plays in the game, the best schemes in the game, and literally it's just like, you know, it's ridiculous, honestly. You know, like, you're never gonna get good that way. You're never gonna get good that way. But hey, you know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, they think they're good. Like, they really think they're good. Me, I'm not even trying. I'm playing with backups. I'm literally, like, I can show you guys here. I go to rosters. Now, they made the game a little harder to play with like a third string quarterback and fourth string quarterback. And you want to know why? Because a lot of players have complained. I found this on Reddit. Well, I don't know if a lot of players, but I found a Reddit post because I did the mistake of following like a Madden community like years ago. So whenever I do go on Reddit, there'll be shit about Madden every single day, every night, and it's annoying as fuck. It's like, oh, should I trade this player? Should I trade this player? What should I do? And they have like 30-year-old. They have players who've been in their franchise for 50 years, and they're asking, should I release him? Should I trade him? Should I have him retire? What should I do? It's like this stupid shit now, on Reddit. Like, seriously, you need to ask. Oh, Tom Brady's 70 years old. What should I do? Should I let him go? Seriously. But I read this one Reddit post one time. I don't know how I found it. But somebody was like in the comments or in a post saying like, I was beaten by players who use a third or fourth string quarterback. Like, this is insane. How, EA needs to do a better job. Like, there's no way a third or fourth string quarterback should even be like played with, or they shouldn't even like like it's no way, I'm thinking to myself, if you know where to go with the ball, listen, you know, there's really you know, speed to me don't matter because if you're not like rolling around with your quarterback, it's not gonna matter. I don't use mobile quarterbacks. If I do, they're backups, you know. Um, and EA made it harder to play with third and fourth string quarterbacks. And I play with third, fourth string quarterbacks and punters. And I say third or fourth because some teams have a fourth quarterback. Some teams only carry two, some carry three. But I'll play with punters too. I won't play with any punter. There's only like maybe a handful of punters that are good enough to play with. But they honestly made it harder to play with punters. And in my opinion, yeah, it's more realistic because you shouldn't be able to play with a punter, you know. But to say like, oh, shouldn't be able to play with a third or fourth string quarterback, like the game should be like super hard to play with a third or fourth string quarterback. Like no, like you know what I mean? Like if I was a first string quarterback and I woke up the next day and I was fourth, like let's say I don't know who a fourth string quarterback would be. Let's say I was Patrick Mahomes today and I woke up tomorrow and I was like, I was Kenny Pickett. He's basically a backup, but you know, if I was Brandon Allen tomorrow, you know what I mean? I would still have the mental part of it down. You know what I mean? I may not have it physically, but I would have the mental part of it down, right? I may not be as fast. I wouldn't be as fast as I was as Patrick Mahomes. I may not have the arm talent that I had as Patrick Mahomes. Whatever. But I would have the mental part of it down. You know, everything that made the game easy to, quarterbacks would still be the same. Just because you lose your mobility, you know what I mean? If Patrick Mahomes lost his ability to scramble, I would say he's probably borderline average. I would say he's probably third tier or second tier because he can make throws that nobody else can. But, I'll show my depth chart here. So, all I really need is like decent guys to win, to get released. Because here's the thing, nobody's going to play you man coverage every single time. I have shown players online I'm willing to play with backups, and they will not play man coverage every single play. But the other thing too is there are routes in the game that no matter who you have a wide receiver, who you have on your team, can still win based off leverage and technique. Double move routes. Giving yourself enough time because what do they say? You can't cover forever, right? So whether you're playing man or zone, you can't cover forever. You know. But I don't really like taking advantage too much of leverages or techniques. But like, I'll show you an example. With the Chiefs, I would never play with the Chiefs. But I was like, you know what? If I take Mahomes out, no matter where Wentz goes, I'm going to play with him. Isaiah Pacheco, he doesn't feel like he has 93 speed. That's because of the E6 agility. But I don't even really run the ball. I'm like 90-10 when it comes to running the ball. I pass the ball like 90% of the time. For every like 20, I don't know, for every like maybe 8 to 12 passes, I probably run the ball once or twice. But when I play in games that matter, tournament games, money games, whatever, you know what I mean? If there's money in the line or whatever, like, hey, listen, I get it. But we're talking about games that don't fucking matter. Like, back in the day, I used to care so much about records. It's like, oh, I need to be above certain number of games above 500. Like, nobody's looking at your record. Unless, like, you're posting it daily and your record is, like, 210 or something, like something ridiculous. Like, nobody's gonna know about your record. And even then, who cares? You know what I mean? We're talking about, like, we're not talking about tournaments here. You know, we're not talking about, in my opinion, that don't matter. They really don't. Especially, because there's no pressure. You know what I mean? If I had like tips to give players, for playing online, it would be like I always say this: don't play when you're stressed out. Don't play don't play when you're, it's a really hot day out and you're sweaty and you're just like irritable. You're pissed off about something, family matters, friends, whatever. Just been through a breakup, whatever. Don't play angry. Just like they say, don't go to sleep angry. Don't play angry. Don't play with something on your mind, something else on your mind, because you're not going to be able to play to your full potential. Like, if you think like you might be homeless, there were times where I thought I might be homeless, and I was playing games and I was playing the worst I've ever played before because I had something else on my mind. I had the possibility of going to jail on my mind. I had the possibility of being homeless on my mind. None of those things happened, but in the moment, those were on my mind. So don't play like when you have something on your mind, something else on your mind. Like only play if you can only focus like on the game. So you could say like these guys are starters, but to be honest, yeah, I could just have like maybe Rice, even though like it's funny because it's great, it's great. Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that because if I have Smith Schuster, I mean this guy's garbage. Just garbage, true garbage. Like who am I gonna play with? Like, you know what I mean? Who am I gonna play with? Smith Schuster and Watson outside? But I take Travis Kelce out. He still shows up there. So if I don't know why they have Kareem Hunt as a fullback, and he looks way bigger than 210. Like when I play, for some reason they have Hunt as a fullback, which is weird. I think that makes sense. The second depth chart for fullback. I hate having P Ryan because I don't know. So with fullbacks, one thing I like is like tight ends who can have some catching to be like a third, fourth string tight end because they can still catch, but they can still like run the ball if you need to in certain situations, and I can't have Noah Gray there because wait, where are my other tight ends? What the fuck? Okay, carry. So like enough speed, carry, and catching. Usually that's gonna be the case. How big is he? Okay. It's weird to have a 6'6" fullback. I'll always say like I always have my starting offensive line. That's one place where you can really. What the hell? I don't remember the left guard being this bad. Okay. Whoa, wait a minute. I must have been looking at another team because I remember who was it? I think it was the Bengals offensive line I was looking at. Yeah, that must have been it. Because holy shit. Like 3 out of their 5 offensive linemen, and Jawan Taylor was like really good. Oh no, that's somebody else. Okay. I thought he was with the Bucks. 90, 94. Well, that's a part of why I'm having success with Wentz, because I have the time to throw. Because I am playing with, I'm playing with starting receivers, but on other teams they would be like Rasheed Rice would probably be a number 3 on other teams. But I took out Chris Jones. Uh, and they got Gems at linebacker. I took out McDuffie. First of all, I didn't know. I thought he was a nickel. Apparently, he was outside corner. It really. I mean, he's not a superstar or elite player. Let's see. Oh my God, there's two safety here. What the fuck? They only have like. You telling me? What? Holy shit! So there's a situation where I have to keep right here, or okay, if I had Reed there. But it's like I got a backup quarterback. I don't really run the ball. I use running backs more as like pass catching receivers, guys. You know, I have guys who are fast but aren't superstars or whatever. You know, I have my backup tight ends. I do have my starting offensive line. No, like superstar on the D line. No superstar basically in the front seven, but there's gems at linebacker here. Part of the reason I do this is because, like, to be honest, I have like 150 games, you know, but I'm not in the mood to play like any of them. So the only games I've been playing is like Grand Theft Auto 5. Uh, I started playing Watch Dogs 2 a little bit because I wanted something that reminded me of Grand Theft Auto 6 or something, you know. But that sucks. And, you know, when I thought I had Red Dead 2 for free because I got it on PlayStation Plus years ago for free, never played it, and now I lost it, so I'd have to get it again. But it's like having a way to challenge myself. So, and then finding gems at certain positions on teams. You know, because in my opinion, like you can get by certain positions depending on, you know, like I would ask myself like, okay, would I have to go score for score offensively? Like, no, I can get one or two stops a game. I can get more than one or two stops a game. You know, so at that point, it's like if I was really gonna play strategically, like if I had no choice, like if put a gun to my head and said I had to play like with the worst team ever, I would, you know, look at, you know, their strengths and weaknesses and say, okay, what can this team do that can compete with any other team? How is their offensive line? How is their quarterback? Does that, you know, what kind of throws can the quarterback make? You know, what's the height or weight on the height and speed on the receivers? Like, what do the receivers do? Are they good at catching? Are they good at getting separation? You know, are they big? Can they jump? Can they, you know what I mean? Are some of them 50-50 ball catchers? Can you throw back shoulders to them? Like, you know what I mean? Can you have a quarterback that's good enough to make most throws? And maybe, you know, let's say your quarterback isn't as good, but he's a little mobile. Like maybe rolling him out. You know, you have good tackles, maybe rolling him out. But is your running game decent? Okay, maybe having more of a balanced offense, maybe spreading them out. Like, you know, basically trying to shore up your weaknesses. You can't run the ball sparingly, spread them out, use screens, you know, get the ball in your best player's hands, you know. Every team has something basically to bring to the table. You know what I mean? Like I'll go through every single team and just say like, okay, Bears. I would say great Madden quarterback. Decent run game. Good enough wide receivers. Good enough receivers in general. Decent offensive line. And let's say, like, this is what I mean is, like, do you have one thing on offense that you can do to move the ball? Do you have a way to, you know, not get gashed defensively by big plays? If you can limit big plays and you can move the ball on offense, like, you can win games. You know, like, what can your defense do? Are they better at covering in their secondary, or are they better at, you know, rushing? Are they better in the front seven with, like, stopping the run? You know, so finding out your strengths and weaknesses, and shoring up your weaknesses, and, you know, using your strengths, stuff like that. You know, I would say the Bears have a pretty stout front seven against the run. Fast and, you know, stout linebackers, front seven guys. You got a decent secondary. Oh, you definitely have. You actually have a great secondary. But, you know, I could go through every team. The Bengals, you know, high-powered offense, defense good enough still to get one or two, you know, two stops or more. You know, the Bills, you know, you got Josh Allen, a running game. You know, I would say a good enough offensive line and a defense that can get you 2 or more stops for you. You know, Broncos, you got a quarterback, running game. I'm not sure if they have an offensive line. You got a great offense. Wide receivers, in my opinion, are really. Like, you can see how, like, so far, every team and then their defense, Broncos have always been known to have a good defense. Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Oh, yeah. Geez, forget about it. Wait, they got Riley Moss? Oh, good. Wait a minute. Oh, so last year, no wonder they talked about him. And he's actually a starting corner, like an outside corner. So, you can see, like, give me the worst team that's out there. One of the worst teams, the Browns, right? You have, like, any one of these 3 quarterbacks are good enough to play in Madden. You had a running game. You could put a fullback here. You definitely have good enough wide receivers here. It's a little shaky, but, you know, sometimes I would put, like, a starting tight end number 4, so that way you can still have them at tight end and then have your 3 wide receivers on the field, you know, or, you know, if you're 4 or 5 wide, and Njoku becomes your 4th wide receiver on the field, or whatever. And then you have them at tight end too. So you have great receivers, good enough quarterbacks, running game. I would say decent offensive line. Obviously, pretty good front seven. I would say, yeah, pretty damn good. So right here, for example, JOK. I'm not even gonna, you know, Koromoa. You know, he's a pretty good pass rusher here in Madden. You have Devin Bush, somebody who used to be a good pass rusher, and then you have, you know, a good enough middle linebacker here. Devin Bush, or more of a field general, and then you got a speed guy here who could be a gem, and then you got, you know, Myles Garrett, and their secondary on paper have always been good. You got, you know, superstar Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome here, two starting caliber outside corners here, and Emerson, 6'2", nickel corner. Ford is decent, and Cameron Mitchell's decent enough. And then good safety. So the worst team in the league. You go through all these teams and you see on paper, why are they bad? Well, the Browns play in a pretty good division. The organization has been known to have issues. They're not a really great organization. Cardinals are one of the worst teams, but well, not. I won't even say that. Because I got the Cardinals, Panthers, the teams who I expect to be way better. Obviously, everybody's probably got the Cardinals, but the Cardinals, everybody's got the Cardinals, Panthers, and Chargers probably. So you can see here I have a backup here. I expect the Colts maybe to be a dark horse. Falcons. It could come down to, okay, who's in the NFC South? Oh, that's going to be a tough division. Falcons, Panthers, Buccaneers. I would say that the two teams, Falcons and Panthers, one of them might still be underachieving because of the Buccaneers and who, they have to play each other. So, but I expect that division to be every team to be above 500. Who's the other team in the NFC South? You got the Panthers, Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, Bucks, Falcons. So who else is there? Saints. Yeah, I expect Saints will probably be the worst team. But I mean, who else would be okay? The Titans, in my opinion, yeah, they had the worst record and they got the best, the number one overall pick. Well, now you would have Cam Ward at quarterback, right? So let's see what they got. They got a running game here, and Tajay Spears, is a decent runner, but more of a pass catcher, I believe. And Joshua Kelly could be like your power back. You got Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd, Westbrook, Kine, Traylon Burks. Okay. You got decent tight ends here. And their offensive line is it's below average. It's below decent, I would say. But this is where I would say if you don't have a great offensive line, what do you have that's good? Can you run the ball with your offensive line? Can you spread them out? Do you have wide receivers, but not an offensive line? Do you have a running game? How is your quarterback? What kind of traits do you have everywhere else? You can win games still. How is your defense? Can your defense help your offense out? Can you stay in games? Can you give yourself a chance because of something else that you have? So can you stop the run and get after the quarterback? Can you cover in the secondary? Hold up in coverage for the pass rush? It's about styles. Styles make fights. If the Titans went up against a team like the Chiefs, they'd probably get their ass beat. But if they went up against a team like the Steelers, they'd probably be in a close game. Styles make fights. Here you have you got a pretty damn good you got a pretty damn good D line. And you got oh my God, they got Gibbons. I forgot about Gibbons. yeah, you definitely have. Like, I wouldn't even say decent. I would say you have a good front seven, and then you have there is some I would say. And then here, I don't understand why this happened. I think it's probably because at the end of the year, or it depends on where they have them in real life and stuff. But let's see. Their change direction isn't good. Like, wow, Quandre Diggs, Amani Hooker. I mean, you have a defense here with the Titans. You have, and they were like a top. It's crazy to believe a top 5 defense for most of the year last year. You know, but their offense, was plagued with bad quarterback play. So they're basically like Washington 3-4 years ago. You know. They had some pieces on offense, but no quarterback, no stability at quarterback, but a great defense. So I just showed you guys that, like, could I make it work with the Titans? I mean, I might even play with them right now, to be honest. Oh, definitely. Forget about it. I mean, Will Levis? Are you serious? Will Levis would be too much for me. Would be too good for me. Too good. Are you kidding me? This would be overkill right here. Overkill. I would not be able to play with Will Levis. And that would be too. He would be too good for me to use, honestly. I don't understand why. He may not, in real life, he may be good with throwing on the run. I mean, throw under pressure, but, like, you have to, you look at some of these numbers like this, 94 throw power, and, like, 80 accuracy across the board, And, in my opinion, that's, like, throw under pressure, 77, that's pretty damn good. Because third or fourth quarterbacks would have their throw under pressure around like 70, 72. So, but I could still make, I'm about to turn this video into a Mason Rudolph Titans. Actually, they had him as starter here. Pollard would just be overkill too. Six foot 7. Oh my God, catch him. Yeah. Nick Minute, I'm sure. It's really crazy seeing a lot of these receivers that could have been like having like a historic career. Calvin Ridley, got in trouble for gambling. Henry Ruggs, was in the league for a few years because he was out driving like almost 200 miles an hour and killed a woman. I mean, think about where his career would be. He would have been one of those players who probably would still be on the Chiefs. Or, wait, no, the Raiders. The Raiders probably would have been good. Better. They got Tyler Boyd. And I look at their draft status, like where were they drafted? I don't have Derrick Henry, so you know what I mean. If you ever seen somebody play with the Titans, it was because of Derrick Henry. I never did that. If I ever played with the Titans, I always took out Derrick Henry. One time I had a mirror match and I beat the Titans with somebody using Derrick Henry. They basically abandoned the run with Derrick Henry and they try to go spread like every play and made him quit. See right here, he's like, okay, my offensive line isn't as good. I can run the ball, but I'm not. I can use screens, but I'm not. I can use RPOs, but I'm not. You know, I can spread them out, probably will. But anything I do isn't based off strategy. I mean, do I even need to do anything? Do I probably? Yeah, I'll leave. You know what? I say like, you know, I would keep an elite offensive line in, so why not keep in an elite defensive line? You know, still have backup players on the defense. So I'll probably do that for now. I don't want to spend too much time. I'll stone them. Your power back? Really? What? Wait, Joshua Kelly, wasn't he with the Rams? Yeah. Wait, no, Chargers. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, he was still. How? Yeah, his carry must be bad. No. Okay, so. Okay, Spears. That's crazy. I guess 5'10", 200 pounds is good enough. Wait, isn't Tyler Boyd number 2? I think he was good. And then for sub linebackers, I look for speed linebacker to change direction, obviously. McCreary, yeah, wait a minute. So 1, 2. Playing with the Titans right now. And the other thing is like having your same playbook too, being comfortable with it. Don't matter who you play with, as long as you have the players who work like in that same the same playbook, you know. I'm watching my own live stream, but I paused it a long time ago, so apparently it's not showing up very well. I'm gonna risk losing again here. I love the challenge, but I'm still not gonna really try.
It's the building that was open the year the franchise became known as the Titans. Welcome to Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee.
Look at that thing. Hot Fix. What the hell is Hot Fix? Hot Fix version. Oh, that's Dying Light too.
Nick Folk ready to do the honors. And away we go from Nashville. Here's Cavante Turpin on the return. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30.
Man, these garbage trucks becoming real late. fucking almost 2 p.m. Where I used to live, they would do the fucking garbage like 5, 6 in the morning. It's fucking almost 2 p.m.
All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
Yeah, here we go. Wait, check.
Yeah, every
Out of the
player
gun,
wants
they'll
to
give
run
it
the
to him
ball.
inside. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's a solid 70-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
If you need to run the ball, you're compensating for
Something.
something.
Nice
That's the
play,
way I look at it. If we're playing for money, then I always say everything's on the table.
And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Moving
I'll
quickly,
probably go
trying to
quick
get set
pass
again.
or if he didn't audible, so.
Back to the well again. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's
And they need
all
to
that was
spread the ball
needed
too.
to
Like I
ensure
said, players need to spread the
first
ball
down
and they need to
right
run
there.
it.
1st and 10 from the 41.
They need to spam crossers. They need to spread the defense out. They need to run the
1st down,
ball.
here's Dak.
They need to use the scheme. Nobody's
He
open.
put some juice on it deep. His first throw is an interception. Roger McCreary takes it away.
Never use the
And the
scheme. Put a
Titans
game
get the
23 years
football on
going
the
on.
first turnover of the contest. So the first drive of the game ends not in points, Brock, but in an INT.
And I get it. Opening drives aren't always going to end up with points or a touchdown. Good thing, though, there's a lot of opportunities left to make up for that miscue and go get yourself back in rhythm and back on script.
His
Look at that.
first throw is an
It's like I use a
interception.
low pass because I see like he's on me, but he's he's not in front of me. So I use a low.
Well, for their sake, partner, I sure hope the rest
This
of
is
their
where I
pass
always
attempts this
say
game
I at least
go a
practice
whole
with
lot
that
better
before.
than that, because it is pretty
Before I
clear this
play.
defense
First time
came to
playing.
play.
And I can promise you this, Kate, nowhere on that opening script does the
And
word interception ever
you know,
appear.
your
You
mind's
never
telling
wanna
you,
see
like
an
when you
INT.
see a
Now, you're gonna have
pass
to
like that, you're
refresh it.
thinking to
That's the key here
yourself,
for this
oh, that's like
quarterback
a.
and the offense. Gotta
It's not
flush
that far of a
mistake
throw,
and
but for
press on
somebody
ahead.
like Mason Rudolph from
First
Murphy,
and 10, Prescott. On target to his
because
back, Rico
it looks
Dowdle.
like it's just like
And they
a
bring him down
15
at
yard
the
throw,
7-yard
but
line.
you have to
A dose
count,
of the hurry-up
factor
offense
in,
here.
where it's
Running
going.
for the marker on 2nd. And he is into the end zone for a Dallas touchdown. The Cowboys pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Hey, I
These
wish I
great
could
rushing
mix it up
attacks
too
down
and
here
run the
that
ball.
can score rushing touchdowns. It takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst
Like
of the
I said,
running
if we're
back was
playing for money,
tremendous.
everything's
How
on the
about the
table.
launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the
Every
entire
route's on the
way, and it took
table,
the
every
entire
play's on the
group
table,
offensively.
everything's on the table.
Julius Chestnut to return.
Missed
And this
that kick
return
right
gets to
there.
the 30 before he stops.
Didn't register. I go quick, don't read the defense, don't do my
Drive
blocking
starts out
adjustments.
with a 1st and 10.
The only time I'll ever do my blocking adjustments really is if it's a route I don't use, and basically blocking it cancels it, so that's the only time I really do it.
Looking to throw here, and caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And the Cowboys scoop it up. And they stop him before he gets much on the return.
First time playing with
Well,
the
that didn't
Titans,
take long, Brock.
playing with this
One
these
play,
Titans,
and they're back
and
out there.
Well,
he
that's
plays
how
two
a
turnovers.
defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The
Spent
defense
too long
picks up
there.
that offense and puts them right back on the field.
staring
It's
down
taken
the
in by
receiver.
Lamb.
Because it looked like, that's what I say, I take on these plays that are going to make you stare down the receiver.
Offense in the hurry up here.
Some of these plays you either haven't used before,
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him
or
inside.
that make you stare down the
And
receiver.
they take this in for the
Some
score.
plays that are not going to make you read defense.
The
Some plays that are going
Cowboys
to make
get
you
another
stare down
6 to make
receivers.
this a
Some
13-0
plays that are going
game.
to
It's
the
what
only
every
place that you
player
don't
who
really
scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get
because
right
it's a
back
recipe
there
for
and put another
disaster
6 on the board.
against
I've
anybody
never met an
because
NFL player content
one,
with
you're
one
not doing
end
your
zone
blocking
trip in a
adjustments.
game.
Two, you're not
Nope.
reading defense.
Yeah, if you're
Three, you're
content,
staring
you're not
down
making it to
the
this
receiver
league.
or
You get
using
one,
a
you're
play you
instantly
never
thinking
used
of
before.
another, and the fortunate few are able to actually
And
deliver on
it
it.
could be, it don't matter if it's a blitz
Aubrey now
or
to kick
if
this
it's
one
all
away.
coverage. It don't matter what zone it is because you're not reading it, not doing your blocking adjustments.
Here's Chestnut on the return. He's brought down at what
And
looks
he's down
like the
14
24-yard line.
And your opponent thinks he's better than you.
Offense ready to begin this
Because you're
drive.
not trying
First and 10.
using, you know, that team.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Even that pass, guys, that pass stayed up. Like, I used a bullet and that shit
It's
was
a
like, wow.
26-yard pickup there. And that'll be a Tennessee first down.
Where the hell is, what's his name? Anyhow. Okay.
They'll run here with Tajay Spears. And the
Like,
middle
where did he go?
holds. They don't get anything on the
He
run.
deserves to be at least a back.
2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here.
What? Wait a minute. It says he's still a Titan. He's not even on the Titans. What are you talking about? He's not on the Titans, man.
We're ready to go with the second quarter. And it's
If he was,
Titans
I'd put him in right
football.
now.
They start out 2nd and 10.
I only play with backups, so it depends how bad he
Back
is.
to throw. He finds Chigga.
I mean, they want to do whatever they want.
And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain.
And some
and a
players are
first
like,
down.
"Oh, why not? It's part of having fun or whatever." It's like, yeah, I get it, but you know, don't act like you're any good because you're using
Throwing from the
some
gun.
shit.
Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
Like players tell me,
Drive
"Oh,
getting it to Calvin
I
Ridley.
only play for
So
fun."
second
Yeah,
down
you're throwing
coming up.
everything out there. I'm sure you're playing for fun. Or like players will spam the same play and say, "Oh, I only play for fun." Is it fun spamming the same play? Is it?
A first carry here for Tony Pollard.
Is it fun just
This is ahead
running
for
the
about
ball
5.
every time
That was Michael
you
Parsons making that
you
play.
see it's favorable?
There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down.
Is it fun making the game so damn easy? Nah, I don't think it is. I like a challenge.
Back to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being
Even that
stopped.
pass, like,
Give him about 16
Damn, he
yards
looks
on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. Goal to go. They're passing. Has it in
so
close.
like, that's how quick, like I said, guys. Like, people would think that's my first.
They weathered the storm, and now they've
To
gotten
be honest,
themselves
that could be
right
my
back
first
into
one.
this ball game.
Anybody who's played this game has been here before. The game doesn't start the way you want. You're in a big
hate
hole,
this
and all
fucking
you can do is
thing.
climb out of it. In the words of Pete Carroll,
Like, if the
resonate.
game came down
It's
to
not how
like
you
a
start,
57,
it's how you
58-yard
finish.
field goal, I'd probably never do
That one
it
splits the
because I would
uprights.
care too much about accuracy
And the
and
Titans
not
chuck the
power.
lead in half. It's
Because
down to 7.
I keep
And
forgetting
just
to change
like
this
that, we're back
fucking
to a
kicking meter
one-possession ball
for
game as the
online
kickoff
game
is away.
because it's just like I don't
Returning
understand.
it from the 4.
Ridiculous. The only
And a
the only
decent
kicks that I
return
can make are
ends
like
as they
chip
bring him
shots
down
or
inside the
extra
30.
points with this damn kicking meter. Because the power just goes up way too fucking quick. Yeah, yeah. You let the kick meter fill up like past maximum power or whatever. Like, good luck even making an extra point. Like, it just fills up too fast. And I thought it had to do with like how good, how bad or good your kicker was, but it doesn't. Like, yeah, some kickers, the kicker meter will go like super slow, like that one kicker from Falcons. That shit will fill up like slower than a kickoff. And you don't know that, so that's why I say practice with your kickers before each game. Like, you're just gonna pick a random team, you're gonna lose because the game might come down to a kicker. They're kicking a field goal to tie or win. All of a sudden, you don't know how the kicker's meter is, and it could be super fast or fucking painstakingly slow, and you can lose because of that. And you lost because of that.
He's on the move.
You see what I'm
Catch
saying?
made by
They
Cooks.
have route
And
at
that's
every level.
good yardage with a new set of downs.
And you
Cowboys
should,
signaling
but
for their first time out.
when you use running
And they
back
can take a
circle,
moment to try to
Texas,
build
you
more
got
momentum after getting that first.
you got an out route, seam pass, a corner, and a Texas. I mean, do you even have to be good at Madden at that point? You can be a complete noob at movie ball. This is what I'm saying.
Lone back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's down.
And everybody
Looks like
keeps
he made
using
a stop at
Dowdle like he's the
46-yard
Chiefs,
line.
like Pacheco. Like, seriously.
Offense up to the line
Guy's
fast.
trash. Stop it.
Here's Prescott, 1st and 10. This is complete. Jalen Tolbert.
Like, at least
And
he's
they get this
mixing
down
up
to the
there, right?
28.
I like that.
Timeout taken by the offense. Their second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left
See,
of this half.
that to me is considered
They'll keep
fun.
this
That would be
drive
fun.
moving and
Mixing
come
it
to
up.
the line for 1st and 10.
You know,
Dak now
keeping
from
your.
the gun.
Jesus, why is
Yes,
it
sir,
him
they're
so?
gonna get there, and they drop him.
Surprised that
Final
wasn't a
timeout
passing
taken by the
interference.
Cowboys.
There would be
And
players
that's all
that
they've
will
got for what
purposely,
little
like,
remains of this half.
in a gotta have it situation,
That
they'll
sure
use
ended up
plays
being a
like,
worst-case
if they know how you
scenario.
are as a
Just
user,
kept
they will
coming
use plays
coming and bearing down.
late in the game
And he was looking for
to
an
get a
escape
pass
that wasn't
interference
there. It's one of
on
those
purpose
plays
because
in
they know how you
hindsight,
are. So
Kate,
they'll
where you
have
really
like
gotta understand,
they'll have
I
a
gotta
play
cut
that
there,
has
cut
like
my losses,
multiple
and
receivers,
avoid
3
such a
wide receivers
negative
running in the
play.
same area, and they know that you
Trying
can't
again, following the sack.
defend all of them without causing a passing interference.
Buys time, rolling right. He takes it himself. And he nearly gets to the 25 before going out.
Well, that's an excellent job by the defense. All eyes on the quarterback. When you
But
play
here's
the
the thing,
quarterback, you
like,
can escape.
I can judge
Even
players,
though you
right? I can
cover,
say,
you
like,
still gotta
did
cover
he
down
know
to chase that
pre-snap
QB out
if
of bounds
nothing's open, he's
before
going
you
to
can
run
get
with
the
it?
first down.
Or was it just, like,
It's
you know,
3rd and 8. Need to get a
did it
chunk
just
here.
happen? I guarantee you, players will pick plays that are high percentage throws, like that, which
From the
has
gun is
only
Prescott.
3 wide receivers, right? 3 wide receivers going
Hold
out,
up, they're able to drop
and
him.
blocking release routes, right? So you
They'll
have
get a
enough time
timeout
to
taken
throw,
by the
and if
Titans.
those
That's
3
their
routes
first.
don't get open, take off and
They'll
run with the
have 2
quarterback.
left to work with before halftime.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth, but a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play. A lot of them
surprised
may
it even
make
hit
it look
that, right,
automatic,
'cause
but
that
you
looked
get this
like it
deep,
happened.
and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all this
Like, did that hit the
concentration,
camera on
every
the
bit of his
crossbar or
strength
what?
to send that
Because
puppy
I
through.
didn't see it hit the crossbar.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. And no return as this bounces
Because I was
through the end
talking,
zone for a
I thought it was still the
touchback.
first quarter, to be honest. I forgot that my drive took a long time, or I don't know whose drives took a long time.
Just over
I don't know.
30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line.
Didn't even know I was going to be down 2 scores. Didn't know what the score was.
Pass play on 1st and 10. He'll get this complete to Westbrook Akine.
So far, I have 2
He'll go down,
routes
and
to
we'll
a
say right
teammate
at
that
the
were double
39
move
yard
plays, and
line.
I didn't even know. Like,
Timeout
they-
taken by the offense. Their second. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 39. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. The Titans call their 3rd and final
players,
timeout.
players are
Less
talking,
than
right?
ideal,
Like,
3rd
if
and 8
I
here.
lose a game 40 to like 10, they'll think that you're really that bad and you deserve to lose 40 to 10. But it really, like, you know what I mean? You could very easily be up. I could have thrown 2 pick sixes or something.
Dropping back to throw. He puts some power on a deep one left. And this one falls incomplete. Still 17
See,
seconds
that could have
left
easily
to play.
been a pick, but I'm just fucking
That was
around.
almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover.
It's
and
very
provide the
easy to
hit
go
that
down
dislodges
real
the
big,
football.
real quick.
You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of
The
shot
players
plays
want to
deep.
act like, oh, yeah, you just suck. But I'm not. Like I said, I'm not trying, and I'm playing with a backup quarterback.
Here's the snap on 4th. And it's going to be incomplete.
And
Couldn't
like I said, I
connect
don't
to
care
extend
about
the
any of the
drive.
losses.
So the defense
look at the
rises
down
to the
distance.
challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Defeated in games that matter.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32.
Yeah! Here we go! 26! 26!
Throwing on first is Prescott.
Most players in this situation would have went with a screen.
They're able to drop it.
Yeah.
And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL.
Listen, like, I'm purposely playing
just a little
stupid.
bit.
I wouldn't say I'm playing stupid purposely, but what I mean is,
Well, that first half
I have a
certainly
team
an
that has a lot of
interesting
weaknesses.
one. Kate Scott Brockey
Right.
with you.
And I'm not
as we
using
get
my
back
team's
and see what the
strength
second
for
half has in
covering my
store for
weaknesses.
us.
Okay?
Aubrey
I
now to
have
kick this
probably
one
the
away.
worst offensive line in the game. Not running the ball. Not reading the
Here's
defense.
Chestnut
Not
on the
using
return.
blocking adjustment. Not blocking extra guys.
He stopped on the return at the 27.
Acting like I have an elite offensive line
They'll
and a
get
Pro
this
Bowl team.
drive started. First and 10.
When you're acting like you have a Pro Bowl team, when you have a bad team, like, bad things are going to happen.
They'll come out throwing. Throw came out
See what I
right
mean?
as
You
the
got a
defense
bad
got to
offensive
him.
line,
That's an
you're not
incomplete
going to get
pass.
to your third or fourth read.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
Has the connection to Ridley.
No.
Juke the defender. Touchdown, Tennessee.
That could have very easily been another
Cut
pick
into the lead
because
coming out of halftime.
I didn't know what
Calvin
route he was
Ridley
going to
with
run.
the touchdown.
I didn't know if he was going to run a seam or cut it to
Folk with a
post.
point after.
And I
And the
would say,
Titans cut it to a field goal game.
those plays you're not sure about. Like I said,
Volley set up and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Turpin with a return. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30.
I'm a diehard Eagles fan, but I'm going to keep it real. You know, Cowboys had a good off season. They had a good off season. Yeah. And to say, like, my favorite YouTuber, Philly 500, saying, like, oh, you
They're
know,
out and set. First and
if they
10.
got Amari Cooper, that wouldn't do anything. Oh, they got, what's his name, Pickens, but they're still behind us. Like, yeah,
Completed
there's
over
no
the middle.
question they're still behind
And
us.
he's
But
brought down after a nice
don't act
gain
like,
and
you
a
know,
first down.
don't act
Working
like
quickly here.
they still can't compete with anybody.
From the gun, they're going to hand it off.
And in
He
my
swarms
opinion,
in
I
the
don't
middle.
think
This
Pickens
gets
is all that
maybe a
either.
yard.
It
Tackled
just
there
seems
by
like
Jerome
he's a
Baker.
very physical wide receiver. But how's his
Here
route?
we go, 2nd and 9. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense
What you
earn
see is what you
everything.
get. I don't
They
audible
just did.
constantly before the
And
snap. I
he's
don't use
officially
the
in
rush.
enemy territory
If
now.
I'm ever
They're
on the
gonna give him
D-line,
the
I'm not
opposing
using the rushing.
49.
I don't sell out to stop the run. What else? No fag D.
He's back to throw.
Other
He's
players,
got it to his running
still
back.
constantly audible.
That's a gain
It's
of
right
10,
before the
and
snap to
sparing
get
the
an
return
advantage
for on downs,
to,
Brock, they pick up the first
come in
instead.
unblocked, or
I love
to
fourth
disguise
downs.
the
It just
coverage right
brings
before
out
the
the
snap,
very best,
or
and you get to
to,
see how you handle
better
the most
matchup.
pressure, and it turns
Yeah.
out they handled it pretty
Offensively, I
darn
don't
well.
do that.
And now they'll
Offensively, I
keep
don't use
pushing.
meta plays. I don't use overpowered plays. I don't use the
Rolled
scheme.
back
I
in the
don't use
backfield, and they give it to him.
money
He
plays.
ranges forward to the 31 before they bring him down. Moving quickly,
Anything I
trying to get
do
set
has
again.
no strategy behind it. If I happen to spread you out, it's not
Back-to-back
because I'm
carries
trying
here.
to strategically spread you out and run the ball, or spread you out and get somebody open, or have a numbers advantage, or having any advantage from anything I do. So clearly, he should have won another one. Don't do it. Right?
Escapes the pocket. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop
The fact
it.
that this game is even close. So.
And the defense
People
comes
think I
through.
trash
That's gonna
talk,
back
but
him up and bring up 4th down.
don't tell it like it is.
A dose of the hurry-up offense here.
Down here, they'll probably do something cheap, get the ball out quick, put a seam, a corner.
Back to throw it. He sends this one to the end
That's
zone.
it.
He's got it deep downfield. And he's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Dallas.
pointing
The
scheme.
Cowboys push their lead further to start the half. C.D. Lamb with the touchdown. That
Does
one
that make
right
them a better
down the
Madden
middle.
player?
And the Cowboys make it a 10-point ball game.
My problem with players is I don't care how you play.
Aubrey
Just
now
don't
to kick
talk
this one
shit
away.
because the way every one of these players play,
Here's
I mean,
Chestnut
nobody
on the
sucks.
return.
but every one of these players just copy
This
each other.
return makes it up to
Do
the
anything,
25.
and then they want to talk about it. And they want to
Drive
act like they're
starts out
better
with a
than
first
you
and
because
10.
they beat you in that game. Or they think
They'll
they're
shut this
better
one on
than
the
you
ground with
because,
Pollard.
you know, you took advantage
And
and
he
you
found some
didn't.
running room for a
And,
nice gain.
like, you're better than me
Just a
because
little
you
short,
took
but
advantage.
still a 9-yard pickup. That's going
and
to
I
bring up
didn't.
2nd and 1.
So much to
I'm the
like
one who's
about that
undefeated
run,
in games
Kate,
that matter,
particularly what he was
tournament.
able to get out of it.
And
The
players are
defense,
like, oh, I'm
they
better
felt
than
a
you.
little
Why?
fortunate they were able to track him down
Because you
before
took
an even
advantage?
bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
I could take advantage
Short
too.
pass brought in.
But choose
And
not
he's
to.
going to end up out of
Don't need
bounds,
to.
which will end our third quarter.
I could take a 31-28 loss and be good.
Football on that
At the
47-yard
end of the day, I
line.
didn't
First
sell my
down.
soul, and I didn't try.
He's dropping back to throw. He lofts it deep left.
Yeah, I get it.
That one is incomplete.
Yeah, fucking
Couldn't
around,
hang
man.
on through the contact.
In this situation, does it make sense
Intended
to try to
target was
score
Calvin
quick right
Ridley.
here? No, it doesn't.
And that'll bring up 2nd
Fucking
down.
around. No onside kicks.
He'll look to throw. He had it for a moment, but a
That could have
great
been fourth
defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear.
Like I said, I'm
And you
going
could
clicks and
hear
my
the
plays are crap.
physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
I have a really audible too.
They'll throw on 3rd and long.
Wow, he's so wide open. I don't know why.
Sideline, he's got it. And he
But I mean,
gets
there's
the feed
times
down
where you
two.
can have an elite corner,
They strike for 23 yards.
tight end,
And the Titans
and
will have a first
tight
down.
end could beat them for some reason like that. You know? Like, I don't care how good of a, advantage he has leverage-wise. Should not be able to beat
Still
him.
sticking with the passing game. Throwing the out route complete. And he takes this
I
one
said no
nearly to the
onside
red
kicks no
zone
matter
before
what.
going out. After a good
Luckily,
pickup,
I haven't needed to use one in tournaments. This has never even been close.
from the 24.
Yeah, I was going to say
And the
pick.
defender comes
Even though
away
he's
with
wide
it.
open.
And the Cowboys get it back as he intercepts him for the 2nd
Mason
time
Rudolph.
this game.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great
Well,
spot for
you want
him.
me to take a
Backed up
pass
close
on that?
enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But
You want me to
instead of
take a wide
collapsing
open
under pressure,
pass on
they
that?
rose
No,
up
thank you.
and they created the takeaway.
Nothing's on the line. I'm not taking a wide open
Blown
one.
back gets the handoff.
You don't have players tell me you're stupid.
And they
You're
finally
stupid.
bring him down.
Like I'll
but
tell them
that
I
is
don't
a
take it.
big
I don't take
gain and a
advantage
new
of
set
this or
downs.
that. I don't do this or that. I don't run the ball. I don't spread them out. Run the ball. I don't use RPOs, screens. You're
First down, and they
stupid.
go right back to it.
You're an
And
idiot.
he's brought
You're
down for a
stupid. Or
loss.
you don't take advantage. You're
Well, he
stupid.
was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few.
Why
He got
should
a
I?
new set of downs
Is
started by the
there any
rhythm.
money on the
Instead,
line here?
he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great
Is a
effort
gun pointed at my
defensively.
head,
And he'll get it up
and
near the 38-yard
you
line
know,
before going
and I
down.
need to win this game?
It's a 5-yard gain, and that
Um,
brings up 3rd and
Is
7.
my house on the line? Is my family on the line? Is my life on the line? Is anything on the line? Is this real life? Am I
They give it to him
coach
again.
for an NFL team? Am I representing a city here? Am
And that's
I?
good yardage there with a new
Is there
set of
anything
downs
on
to
the line
boot.
here?
That's the 2-minute warning here in Nashville. Cowboys holding a
I'm not even
10-point
using
lead.
basics.
Going to the ground again on first.
And I know
And he takes
what
it just
anybody's
inside the
defense
40,
is
down to the 39.
every single play.
Trying to set
But
this
that's
up
when I
quick.
need it. I'm talking not about the. I'm not talking about
Oh,
stuff.
look at this.
I'm
He's
talking
set
about
up to
the
throw.
whole play.
And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
I need to play with backups for it to even be close, or for them to for him.
Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. That one's complete, right side. And he's tackled.
I
with
can
the
never
first down
play
yardage.
with even, you know, whatchamacallit, even field.
Wow,
I can
they're
never
gonna
do it.
pass it here.
I can't have elite players on the field anyway.
Brought in by Jake Ferguson. And he's
Like
down
I said, no
inside
user
the
rush,
red zone
no
before hitting
user
the
rush,
deck.
no fag D, no
They get
blitzes,
13 on the pickup.
no audible and
And it'll be
constant.
first down,
What you
Dallas.
see is what you get. So basically, you're getting vanilla defenses, right? And then they do the opposite. So they get a vanilla offense, vanilla defense,
From the red zone now.
and they do the opposite.
The shot to the end zone
As soon as he
is
threw it,
incomplete.
before he threw it, I knew it.
Thought he had a touchdown there. So it'll be second down.
If I ever trash a player, it's not because
Dak off the
of
play
the
fake.
results, it's because of how they get them.
Complete out to the right side.
But everything
And
is
he's
ass
tackled
backwards.
for a short gain. So the Cowboys come in and take this one on the road. Well, as they celebrate to the boos of the home crowd, I'm sure you're having flashbacks.
Everything is ass backwards. I said this before. Like I've had players who apparently if they beat you, they disrespect you. But if you beat them, they respect you. It's all ass backwards. It's ass backwards. If I'm telling you I'm not gonna try and I'm playing with backups and I make it a close game, but you still beat me, I'm getting like shitted on. And like I said, I was risking taking a loss here. Yeah, it's already 2 o'clock. I'm not in the mood to play another game.